Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another AMA, or in other words, an Ask Me Anything. So in today's show, literally you can ask me any question, whether it's music related, whether it's personal, it's too personal, I may choose not to answer. But either way, all questions are welcomed. And if you have any question whatsoever, please feel free to ask. I'm also going to start here in the chat, which actually looks like it's already filling up with some really good questions. So I think there's a way for me to actually start a Q&A though. Which will allow me to only see questions. We'll kind of weed out some of the chatter that might be going on back and forth, which please fine to have chatter as well. There we go. And start that Q&A now. There you go. You can click on that little Q&A tab that's at the top of your chat, and that will allow you to ask a question inside of there. And will kind of be a better place for me to be able to see that. If you want to just continue to hang out and talk inside the regular chat, you can always do that as well. Industry questions? Yes, absolutely. Ask anything. That's what that means. Literally, ask me anything. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let me pop out chat here. And if this is your first time here, thank you so much for showing up. But this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you create professional sounding music in a less than professional space. Now, many of you are in less than professional spaces. That's fine. You are the folks that I am itching to help. You are the folks that I created this channel about. It's because of you that this channel is around. So don't minimize your effectiveness. Make great music just because of the space that you're in. That's what we're here for today. All right, let's give a huge shout out to these folks, man. These guys rock. These are Patreon supporters, our YouTube members, and the coveted and well-respected, the honorable even, VIP members. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to keep the lights on, keep the bandwidth going, have these giveaways that we have all the time. In fact, congratulations to Mark Lance, who just won a copy of the, what was that? Plural, how do you say it? I should say Pluralis. Yes, Pluralis delay plugin giveaway. Typically speaking on this channel, if we do a review, there's also tied to that review, there's a giveaway. We did a review on the Pluralis, and he just won a copy of that. So if you haven't checked your email yet, do so. I haven't got a response from you. And all you got to do is just simply create a United Plugins account, and then head over there, and they'll put that into your account for you. Let me know that you've done so, and all I need is your username and the email that you've used to sign up with that. I'll shoot them an email, and presto chango, you'll have something in there from the awesome folks over there. All right, let's give a huge shout out to another sponsor before we dive into the meat of today's topic. Today's video is sponsored in part by the Promix Academy. The Promix Academy offers affordable courses from mentors, world-class engineers, Grammy winners, and multi-platinum selling producers. And with the resources available on the Promix Academy, you can learn how to create radio-ready mixes from the comfort of your own home studio. Most of the courses also offer multi-tracks that you can then add to your portfolio and begin to build out your business. Follow the link in the description of this video to head on over to the Promix Academy today and start learning the skills that are needed to take your hobby or your business to the next level. Awesome. So here we are today, and thank you so much to the Promix Academy for all of your awesomeness over there. So before we get into the topics today that will be questions rather that we'll be answering, Let me make sure that I can get these up on the screen. Okay. And let's see if I can scroll back up here to the top. I want to get to the first question that was given. Oh, Big Poppy is the one that won the plugin. Very cool. Awesome. Okay, so Zard Williams. Apparently Zard has a lot of questions today. That's completely fine. I will try to answer as many of your questions as I possibly can. Because you asked a lot of them, I will also try to make sure that I answer everyone else's questions as well as yours. So that being said, he says the very first question on the agenda today is, how can I make my videos sound better? So first and foremost, I need to know what you mean by that, in the sense that you mean, how do you make the dialogue in your video sound better? You mean, how do you record Foley sounds or ambience in the background, or how do you mitigate that? Do you mean your tutorial videos? Do you mean music videos? What do you mean by that? So we'll need to know a little bit more information there. But just generally speaking, good microphones and, you know, obviously making sure that you're picking up the right source in the right way. But a little bit more information there, and then we'll be able to answer that question a little bit better. But good question nonetheless. Let's see here. Dave R. Sorry, I thought it was David. Dave R. says, the best home studio monitors. I'm currently using M-Audio BX5s. What would be a good upgrade? So I actually, ironically enough, just got rid of my BX5s not too long ago, and I upgraded to Cali Audio LP6s. At first I was kind of like, I don't need that extra inch of speaker cone. I don't really, at the time, I didn't even really think I needed these speakers because, to be perfectly honest, I mix predominantly on headphones. And then I go back and I check my mixes on the monitors. So I told myself, kind of talked myself out of it and said, I don't need them. And then I talked myself right back into it when I was talking to Warren Hewitt on the phone, and he was like, hey, you need to really give these things a try. So he sold me on them, so to speak, and I got them, and I've never been happier with a set of monitors in my life. They have a lot of really cool features. In fact, I probably need to do, at some point, I need to do a review on them because there's just a lot of cool features that I don't think people really know about. So that might be coming down the pipeline. And in a small space like I'm in now, this room that you're looking at is basically about 11 by 11. So it's not a very big room at all. But with these speakers in this room and the minimal amount of treatment that I've got in this room, I can usually trust what's coming out of them to come out of the speakers in the car, come out of earbuds, come out of headphones, they're very, very good at not only just sounding awesome, but also demonstrating what needs to be changed in a mix, that's the whole reason why you have reference monitors. You don't have reference monitors because they're bumping, they sound good, and they make everything sound amazing. You get reference monitors because they make your stuff sound like trash until you make it sound better. And then you realize it sounds good everywhere. So, and I'm not complaining. These things are amazing. They not only do they make everything sound good that is good, but they make things sound bad that's bad. So that's what you really want in a reference monitor. You don't want something that's just going to sound good with everything. So I would definitely recommend those. I do have a Sweetwater affiliate link. I would love you to use that if you're going to go purchase these. And all that basically does is you still pay the same price for whatever you're going to buy from Sweetwater, and I just receive a small commission from Sweetwater for leading you to them to buy that. If you're overseas or something like that, I don't think they ship overseas yet. They may or may not by now. They're opening up a second store. I don't know if it's going to be an international type thing, but yeah, definitely make sure that you give those things a look. And I'm trying to find here real quickly. If I can just find a link real quick to or to direct you guys to. Got some coffee in the can today, by the way. Drinking some Pike's Place. Not a big fan of Starbucks coffee, but when in Rome, you got to do what you got to do. I'm kind of a coffee snob, though, so it's good, but it's not what I would love to have. So Cali audio is actually spelled K-A-L-I. Okay, so, and I do have the version 2s, which that makes a difference too as well. Let me show you what those look like. We'll go to the desktop. Okay, so this is what they, let me get my mug out of the way. Hold on. I think that's what there we go. So this is what they look like. They don't look too fancy, but they sound amazing. And they do exactly what they're supposed to do. Now, a pair of these right now is $398, which is kind of pricey. But if you look at the BX5s, when those first came out, you were looking at $299 for the pair. So basically for an extra $100, you're going to get a massive upgrade in quality. And one thing that these aren't showing, and that's why I think a lot of people have went to sleep on these, I don't see anybody going off the back of them, which lets me know that all the more reason for me to actually do a full review on these things, because I don't even think Sweetwater has a picture of the back of these things. They don't. Crazy. So on the back of these, there's actually some switches, a series of switches that you can change that will allow them to react differently based off of where they are in the room. So they have a boundary EQ, as it's called, as it says here. Let me see if I can find a picture of that for you. And who knows what this might pull up. Let's go to the Cali Audio website. Maybe we've got more pictures there. Yes. So here's what the back of one of these would look like. And I will zoom in here so we can kind of see. But these here are like little EQ switches that you can use. And essentially, if you have these up against the wall, which like mine are, because I don't have the space, I've got to have these up against the wall on my desk. You can switch these switches based off of where they're at in reference to your room, and it will automatically account for where they are. So because mine are pushed up against the wall, now these are the 8s, but it's the same thing on the 6s. So based off of where they are, you can set this built-in EQ trim, or whatever you'd like to call it, this EQ plot, and they will respond differently. So because they're up against the wall, normally you would get this like weird buildup behind them. I don't get that. And they sound very amazing. They're very accurate, which is what I love. Even with, being in a home studio and being up against the wall, which is a big no-no, they still do a great job of doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So looks like our awesome moderator DJ has actually posted the link to the Sweetwater affiliate link. So thank you so much for using that. If you do, if you don't want to buy them from Sweetwater, that's fine. It's just a way to give back. And if you're already going to be buying them anyway, you're not out anything. So, okay. So Zard Williams has another question. He's got tons of questions here, but we're going to try our best to answer these. He says, should I buy a Tascam mixer recorder? Now, a lot of these questions that he's kind of asking are more based off of I would need a lot more background information. I would need a lot more. I would kind of have to know his space. I would have to know what he's using. There's a lot of factors like, what are you recording? Why would you need a Tascam over, a regular interface? So I'm going to steer clear of some of these questions because I don't really have enough information. But sort of the short and sweet answer to that, should I buy a Tascam mixer recorder? Yes, if the need calls for it, and no, if you really don't need it. And by don't need it, I mean, if you're predominantly recording things at home, you're not going out and about, just a simple interface should be just enough. Now, when would that actually become apparent that you would need it would be maybe if you're playing out and you need to record on the fly, or you're going to be playing in a venue and you need to connect multiple inputs to this to be able to send it to the house monitors, into the monitors up on the stage, the wedges, so you got lots of different scenarios there. So I know it's kind of a generalized answer, but that's kind of a generalized question. So same thing with this one. What kind of computer do I need to buy? Yet again, based off of your needs. I can't really tell you, like, go and buy this computer, it's going to solve all your problems. Yet again, at Sweetwater, if we was to go back to the Sweetwater page, we do have, at Sweetwater, they have an audio PC that's like specifically set up just for audio. And I don't see where that's at now. I call them something. Let's see. Maybe it's just under computer. Computer, monitor, storage, full surfaces. Here we go. Yeah, so they're called, for lack of a better term, they're just called the CS400 4-unit rack unit mountable, the Sweetwater Creation Station. That's what they're called. So these computers are specifically built just for audio. They don't have like a lot of extra bloatware installed. They don't have a lot of extra junk that you don't need. And they're going to be set up for, putting your best foot forward, whatever you might be doing when it comes to audio. So this would be an excellent choice if you have the money. If you don't have the money, most gaming computers have enough power under the hood to do exactly what you need to do with them. So it's just a matter of, yet again, based off of your needs, what you can afford, obviously, and what you actually need. Now, the great thing about these is because they're rack mountable. If you have a rack mountable unit, you can actually, like maybe earlier you were talking about whether you need to buy that mixer or not. If you have that mixer and a rack mounted unit, you can actually put all that on one rolly bin, I guess would be a term for it. And then by doing that, you're going to actually have the ability to take this thing on the go. You'd have a mobile rig. It is kind of pricey, $2,000, but it comes with a guarantee. And like I said, they are specifically built for audio. So you're not going to run into a lot of the hangups that you normally would run into with just a normal PC. Now, with that being said, I have never used one of these as of yet. I want to. In fact, I may even reach out to them at some point in time and see if I couldn't get a really good deal on one of these so that I could do a review on it and let you guys know what my thoughts on it. But the cool thing about these too is like they come built in stock with, this one comes with 32 gigs of RAM. That's massive. And it's upgradable to 128 gigs. That would be 4 RAM slot cards at 32 gigs apiece. So you're looking at some major power here. And then their PCIe cards, that would be your Wi-Fi. So they do come with Wi-Fi. They got an SSD and as well as a hard drive for storing like samples and stuff like that. They support up to 2 monitors. That's always cool. And then somewhere around here, though, yeah, it's all USB-C and USB 3.2, so that's updated and upgraded. But somewhere on here, it doesn't show it right now, but somewhere it was showing, maybe it's in the spec sheet, where the audio, the drivers and everything that it's using for the audio is like top of the line. So that would be your best bet. But if you have to and you can't afford this, there's always, get you a good gaming computer, because to be honest, nowadays, those things are lightning fast and you can get a pretty good price on them too. If you want to get a good gaming computer, let me know that you're in the market. I can do some legwork for you for a nominal fee, and I can actually find something that'll work for you. And I'll then give you an Amazon link, which will be an affiliate link, which will also help to offset the cost of me shopping for you. So yeah, that's that. Let's see what kind of other questions we got here. He also says, I need recording software. So the best software out there, from my personal opinion, is Cakewalk by BandLab, because it's free. Not only is it free, but it's like, it blows a lot of the paid versions out of the water. And for video software, I would recommend 𝗕𝗏𝗀 Resolve. It's also free. And even the free version, like I haven't even upgraded it yet. I'm still using the free version like a year later. But it's only $300 once to buy the full-blown version of it, and it's an amazing piece of software. So okay. Let's see. I know we had some more questions in here. So 𝗏𝗏𝗏, which, by the way, to all of you who are the first timers on the stream, I know Zard Williams is one. Dave R, I don't believe I've seen him around here. And 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and anyone I've missed, here's a big round of applause for you guys. Thank you so much for hopping on the show today. His question was, is this live just about tech and software, or can we ask industry questions? And my answer to that was absolutely ask anything. That's what an AMA is. So you can ask anything under the sun. Mark George says, what is your go-to limiter, my friend? Mark George, phenomenal musician here, asking me questions when I'm sure he probably has some favorites that I'd like to ask him as well. But thank you so much for asking the question. So a go-to limiter, as of right now, is the One Mastering Processor by 𝗖𝗍 Multimedia. That has probably been my go-to now for a long time. I love 𝗖𝗍 products. They're not only phenomenal products, but they're also just downright good people. Just here recently, for instance, I reached out to them and told them about a new series that I was going to try to start, which was called Use This, Not That, which the Waves Audio Company, everyone knows what they've done. They have just done a new thing here behind the scenes that has officially lost my business with them yet again. I am done with Waves altogether now. I made a video, and I'm not going to go too much into the thick of this, but I made a video that was called My Last Word on Waves, in which case I called them out for what they did. And in return for that, they have stripped me of all of my rights of using their plugins. And so that's fine. I didn't really want to use their plugins anyway. There's some other stuff that's going on with them behind the scenes we won't talk about now, but needless to say, 𝗖𝗍 Multimedia is an awesome company. They stepped up to the plate and said, we're willing to give you anything and everything you might need. So the One Mastering Processor is the short answer to that. I also love the Cakewalk stock built-in CA2A. It's a great limiter for bass, for vocals. It's very transparent, very quiet. You can also use it like a compressor. So you can flip a switch, it becomes a limiter. Flip that switch again, it becomes just your average ordinary compressor, but it's so transparent and quiet. You don't even hear it working a lot of times unless you just crank it up and overdo it. So that's sort of my quick and dirty answer to that one. Big Poppy says, thanks for the win. Well, thank you for entering. That's awesome. Okay, there are... Okay, this isn't really a question, but this is something I would like to address. Zard Williams has put in the chat, I need about 4 years of sound recording school. I would actually say no, you don't. What you need is someone who will take you under their wing and show you the ropes, because a recording school is there to make money. Don't get me wrong. If you can afford it and you want to go, it's still a good option. You're going to learn some stuff, but there are people who have stopped by this channel during our live streams, or people who have signed up to be a part of live mixing masterclasses, or they've jumped on board with a VIP membership and they've realized I can pay $9.99 a month and get 4 years of college audio production knowledge in a matter of just a few days, rather than going through 4 years of this. And so it's either pay, $80,000 or upwards, and not all of them are $80,000. Let's just say on the low end, $30,000 to anywhere to $80,000, and spend 4 years of your life and still have questions, because I get people on my channel all the time that have went to audio school and they're still like, I have never heard this in audio school. So it's either do that or maybe spend $9.99 a month, just like $10, which is less than like a Netflix. I'm told, I don't know, I don't own Netflix, but it's less than most subscriptions out there, and you will learn a ton. So that would be definitely a better option in my opinion, not just because I'm making money from it, but because it really does work. If you hang around this channel for very long, you'll know that I give more stuff away than I actually do sell. I'm not a salesman. I'm not some like internet cheesy marketing kind of guy. I just know that what I teach and how I teach it, it works. Bottom line. Okay, so 𝗵𝗲 𝗧𝗵𝗲, sorry if I pronounced that last name improperly. Why is your multi-track deleted? I'm assuming you're talking about all of the, yeah, he actually clarifies, why are your multi-track videos deleted? They're actually not deleted. They're put on hold. They were made private. And the reason being is when I started this channel, it was for elements just like this, where I can actually sit down and train people, teach people. Now, as much as those songs can help you to learn about things, it's more of a, ooh, that's cool, I want to try that kind of knowledge. Whereas the stuff that I like to teach and show on the channel, which is how the channel actually started, was more sort of hands-on. And so I like to actually showcase ways that you can get better, quicker, easier, more practical knowledge, rather than let's just sit down and listen to some tracks that we've already heard before that sound cool, don't get me wrong, and you can learn something from it, but that's just one aspect of it as well. So for those of you who have followed the channel for very long, you also know that I am, I'm a devout Christian. It's something that is just, it's in my fiber. I've been in church now for over 20 years, and I have a whole testimony that God, picked me up out of the gutter, literally, and saved me from drug addiction and alcoholism and all kinds of other addictions that were plaguing my life, cigarettes and you name it. And used to cuss like a sailor, for crying out loud. And in one day, God changed my entire life, all of that addiction away. And now, since I've given my life to him, a lot of my tastes and things have changed. And so outside of the channel and some of the things that I was doing here on the channel, I don't listen to secular music or music like that anymore. That's part of my past. So I predominantly listen to black gospel, bluegrass gospel. I listen to contemporary Christian, to songs that people have written that glorify God. And we do have, I would say, probably the closest thing to secular music that I listen to are the song contests that we have here on the channel. And so when I started to do these videos, it was started as like a one-off thing, listening to Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, which I thought, in my estimation, it's not really a bad song intrinsically. But the more that this started to sort of bloom into other things, other areas of my life, I started to realize, like, I can't tell my son not to listen to worldly music or secular music if I'm covering it on my channel. And although Michael Jackson's music was amazing and a lot of the artists that I covered have excellent talents, I also don't agree with some of the agendas that they would push. And so I cannot, as a Christian, I cannot condone some of the things that go along with that lifestyle and with that type of music, and still be true to myself, the core self of who I am. So that's the main two reasons why they were hidden and taken off of the channel. It had nothing to do with copyright. You know, Michael Jackson estate did not, I've heard some stories already. The Michael Jackson estate did not call me up and say, dude, we're suing you. There was nothing like that. It was literally just a personal choice to maintain my integrity of my own self and to be true to myself and my convictions. So that was the best answer I can give you. So. Okay, so here's a good answer. Sweetwater doesn't ship to Canada unless we go through a third-party delivery company, which is a pain. So that stinks. Wow. Mark George, this isn't really a question, but he says McDonald's coffee is the best. It actually is really good coffee. Believe it or not, it really is. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗧𝗵𝗲, another excellent musician here on the channel, has submitted a lot of really cool songs. He says, been learning how to do pour over coffees. Yes, brother, you are stepping up in the world. That's where it's at, man. It really is. Hard on Fishing says, when I downloaded Cakewalk 2 years ago, it came with lots of plugins. I recommended it to a friend and hardly any plugins came with it. Has something changed? So yes, several years ago, the company Cakewalk was owned by Gibson, the guitar brand, and they had poured a lot of money into it. And sort of the the marketing agents and all of those that work with Gibson, they had secured some deals with plugin companies to where a lot of third-party plugins were included whenever you bought, or at that time bought, Cakewalk. Well, over the course of time, Gibson, for whatever reason, just one day out of the blue said, hey, we've dropped it. There's no longer going to be any updates, no longer going to be any support for Cakewalk. See you guys later. Like literally, it was just like that, just out of the blue. Well, myself and a lot of other individuals who have been using Cakewalk for years professionally, we was kind of upset about that because, I mean, we've got projects that are on hold. We've got, it's the DAW we're used to. I mean, now we're going to have to completely change our workflows. So we started a hashtag that was called Save Cakewalk. And within a matter of a few months, a company came out of Singapore named BandLab, seen the opportunity to lay hold on a 30-year-old, at that time, 30-year-old investment in an awesome DAW that already had 30 years of bugs and kinks worked out. That was an amazing, solid DAW. And they said, let's make it free. And at first, I was kind of fired up. I'm like, I just paid $499 for the platinum version of this like 2 weeks ago. Then they went belly up and now it's free. I paid for that. But then the optimistic side of me goes, yes, but now at least I'm going to get updates and it's still going. So what am I? I'm not that upset anymore. So, but when they took over, a lot of the third-party plugins and those agreements that they had those legal binding agreements, they were dissolved. And so a lot of the plugins then went with that. Now, that being said, there's still a lot of awesome like stock plugins that come with it. And there are still a lot of the plugins that used to come with it that you can still go and download for free, like the soft tube saturation knob, the bark of dog from, I believe it's Nomad Labs. Don't quote me on that. So a lot of those plugins that used to be on there, you can still get access to. And if you're a member of the VIP, reach out to me and ask if you own an old copy of Cakewalk Sonar. You can install Cakewalk by BandLab right on top of that. And you will get all of those old plugins still to this day. They still work. They're operable. So yeah, that's what happened. All right. Disc Jedi. If you hadn't thrown all of our beloved tea in the harbor, you wouldn't be stuck with Starbucks. He says, we got Timmy's here. It's better than Starbucks. Nice. Tim Hortons all over Canada. Nice. Okay, so thank you, DJ. Apparently, he's more up to date on this, but he says you don't want to purchase an audio PC from Sweetwater because they're outdated from what is currently available on the market. I don't think they would still sell them if they weren't still a valid option. That might be something I need to reach out and talk to my Sweetwater representative about, though. But Mark George actually answers the question very well. A basic PC with a lot of RAM and a good CPU. I mean, that's short and sweet. I actually prefer AMD chips over Intel, but I've heard that both work just as fine. So, okay. Sure, I don't skip over any questions. This time I don't think it's going to happen, DJ. I really don't. They have burned me severely this time. I can't talk much about it, but yeah, they have really done a number this time. So, Mark George, perfect answer there as well. Yeah, my live mixing sessions are pretty much like a masterclass every time we do those. So, and I'm not just bragging on myself because I'm not even that kind of a person. I am just confident in my abilities, and I know that what I teach, actually, it works. So, now see, Crackling Software, that he brings up a good point. If you're into, networking, you can get some really good musical friendships from going to audio school. So yeah, I'm definitely not telling you like, don't do it. If you can afford it, by all means do it. But at the same time, wow, that's awesome right there. Disc Jedi says, hanging out with the HSS gang here has changed the way my tracks sound. Not been here long, and the difference is massive. Dude, that's awesome. Hey, we got another first timer. He says, I'm studying sound design at the Audio Academy in Berlin, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Yes, tutorials are amazing, but knowing the basics of sound is important. Exactly. I totally agree with you. And that's why I don't really focus too much on tutorials either, as much as I used to, which I need to get back to that, honestly, for folks that don't want to sign up for a VIP membership. But within the VIP community, I actually have more in-depth, they're tutorial in a sense, but I try to do more hands-on and practical applications. So, Hey, that is awesome. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. Crackly software. Apparently he asked a question and I may have overlooked it. As he says, how do I know if I went through? To be honest, there's just a lot of questions here, so I may have overlooked it. Feel free to ask the same question twice if maybe I haven't got to it yet. Oh, mercy. Every time someone, my chat like keeps going down to the bottom and then I miss out on. Yeah, that's always an option too. Hop over on Discord. So if you want to ask questions like any time of the day, I'm usually jumping on there or someone else is able to jump on there and help. Okay, so millionaire. Oh, millionaire. Got it. He says, what pro gear is best for a traveling studio, i.e. compact gear that fits in a large luggage? So honestly, Focusrite makes really good quality stuff. If you can get a Focusrite, like depending on what you need to record, like a 6i6, a 2i2, why is that like that? Sorry guys, I just noticed that okay, there we go. Yeah, a Focusrite 2i2, a 6i6, something like that. Those are small enough, compact enough that you can fit them into a backpack and take them with you anywhere. In fact, I just did a video here recently where I talked about where I went to play at a men's conference, which was a large gathering, and I had to basically take just the bare necessities to be able to go and play, as well as I wanted to live stream on Instagram. So I was able to take, in my case, it was the 𝗕𝗲𝗏 𝗔𝗍 Pro Duo. Got 2 inputs. I mean, even something like that on the go could be a great way for, and that thing's like super tiny. Could be a great way for you to go. And then not too long ago, we had actually a contest in concert with BandLab and 𝗕𝗲𝗏 that was called A Studio Without Walls. Some of you may remember that. And where I actually covered a little bit about that as well. So, okay. So apparently, yes, Crackling Software asked a question. Here we go. I think I got to it. Okay, so he says, this is a great question, by the way. How do you know when a mix is finished? I find I can always go back to a track and want to redo so much of it. So if you have followed the channel for very long, especially if you're a VIP member, and I think you are, Crackly. Yes, you are. In the bonus content section, there is actually a link to my 15-step mixing process. The reason why I created this process was specifically for that very reason that you just spoke of, to be able to know when a mix is finished definitively. Now, the best way that you can do that is to get your mix to an awesome place where you know it's sounding good to you at that point in time. Now, everyone knows that 10, 20 minutes later, a couple of days later, you're going to listen to it again. You're going to go, there's things I want to change. Well, that's where something like this can come in handy because, and I'm going to try to log into the VIP membership so I can show you where that's at instead of just tell you about it. That would probably help you more than me just showing you or telling you rather. So yeah, if we go over here to the desktop, this is what the VIP membership looks like. Once you become a member, this is what you will see. And down here in the section where it says bonus, if you click on this, right here is the 15-step mixing process. Once you click on that, it's going to take you into a page where you can read it straight from the website. Or if you want to take this and pin it up at your desktop, you can download it for free here. But essentially, the first, 14 steps, or 13 steps, I should say, is just all about preparation and building on to what you like. And then the 15th step, which is, or the 14th and 15th steps are the main thing for being able to sign off on a mix and say, yes, I can officially say I'm done with this mix. And that is you address any issues that you find in your first pass, listening to it without touching any faders, but you touch nothing. But you write down what you hear that you don't like. And then you go back and you fix that, and you go back and you listen again. But this time you close your eyes, you just take a listen, you write down what you hear, what needs changed. You keep doing that, rinse and repeat until you have nothing left to write down. And then you have it written on paper that you fixed all the issues that you heard. From there, you can definitively say, yes, this mix is finished because I've listened to everything that I heard that I thought was wrong and I fixed it. So that's the best way for you to actually get, a good foot forward on something that seems like it'll never end. So great question. Okay. Thank you so much, Meeps Music. I appreciate that super chat. And you should have, it doesn't look like it's hooked up anymore. There. You have just officially lit the room up like a galaxy because I think the world of you. Thank you so much for the super chat. This is how it's supposed to happen, that whenever you drop a super chat, the room lights up, but apparently something is broke on the back end here. I'll have to go back into the software that I use and see if I can get that fixed. So, okay. Okay, so this is a cool question. According to your opinion, how will AI technology impact music production in the near future? So there's a lot of people that are scared to death of AI. They're afraid that it's going to take creativity and flush it down the drain. I am of the camp of individuals that feel like, if anything, it's just going to help us get to a creative result faster, for one. For two, if you're in a creative rut, it can really help you get out of that rut just by hearing something that you didn't have to create. You didn't have to put in the brain work. The best way for me to explain this is, like, if you can use AI, much like a template, to get to a good starting point, you can hear something that inspires you. You can go, ooh, and then you can morph that into what you want it to be. So you can kind of use it as a launching board. Now, if it gets to the point where it's writing hit songs and making money off of it, and there's nobody behind that process, that's a whole nother area of grayness, I guess. But what if the songs are good? I mean, what if they actually do a good job and you like the song? Would that necessarily be a bad thing? So I think if it ever gets to the point where AI starts taking over and everything that you listen to is AI, then we got a problem. Like if PR representatives and record companies start signing AI artists and doing away with others because they know they don't have to pay them, that's where we're going to be going down the wrong path. So I think it's actually a good thing. I don't think we need to look at it as, oh no, they're going to come, and take away all of our hard-earned knowledge and whatnot. So great question, though. Oh, Nine Mind says, I've been submitting my questions in the blue box. Okay, cool. Thanks for telling me that. So now I can go back to the blue box and I'll find the questions here. Okay, cool. He says, what do you suggest are the first few steps an artist should take? Let me make sure I'm on the right page here. I'm going to switch over to the questions tab. That's why I was missing those. Okay, so he says, what do you suggest are the first few steps an artist should take to releasing their own music? I don't want to get signed necessarily, but I want to be able to release my music while protecting my art. The very first step is you should sign up for DistroKid. DistroKid is an awesome service that you can upload it on Friday night, and by Saturday morning, it's going to be in like 20 different places online, all copyright protected. All of it has your stamp on it, and it does all of the legwork for you for a measly fee of $20 a year. Now, if you want to upgrade and pay like, I think it's like $30 a year, you can even do like pre-releases on Spotify. There's like extra options that are opened up for doing that. So yeah, I think that's probably the very first step you should take for releasing your own music. And then obviously, you've got to start creating some promotionals, because nowadays we have to be a producer, engineer, artist, manager, marketing director. We've got to be all of those hats, and that can kind of get overwhelming. So I would definitely look into YouTube to find people that are already doing this stuff. And I'm going to try to have some folks on the channel too, probably more or less on the VIP side of things, that will be able to help with that area as well. So, but great question though. He did have another question that got kind of lost in the weeds because it was on this questions tab. So my apologies for that, but it's, what's the minimal equipment I need to record tracks with BandLab besides a good mic? I have an HP touchscreen laptop, and I'm a she, by the way. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Well, young lady, what you need is, the minimal equipment would just be a decent interface, which we've already talked about, the Focusrite interfaces. You can use anything on the market really nowadays, within reason. Obviously, you don't want to buy like the $20 specials on Amazon that may or may not have good converters in them, but go with a company that's well respected. Focusrite, M-Audio, UA Audio rather, Antelope Audio. There's a lot of companies that are making some really great interfaces. Use a good interface, a good mic, and honestly, if that's, and all you have is a laptop, that's fine. You should be well on your way to making good music. So, okay, so that looks like that's all of them that popped up there in the question chat. Hey, what is that? Produce Like a Pro is up in here. I didn't notice that. Thank you guys so much for hopping on the channel today. Actually just gave you guys a big shout out here at the beginning of the stream. So sorry I didn't see that you had hopped in. I was stuck in the weeds here answering a bunch of questions. Awesome. Let's give a big round of applause for the Produce Like a Pro community. Warren Hewitt and his awesomeness, and as well as everybody that works for him and with him. He has a really good ear for making sure that he surrounds himself with awesome people. So Zard Williams says, I spend $9.99 on a bargain burger. So why not spend that on a VIP membership, and you'll get yourself a lot of knowledge that you need. Paul Ross says, hey, nerd. Well, hey, how's it going? Moving the studio in a huge amount of work. That is an awesome little series. If you guys haven't checked that out, go and check that out. Warren has been in one place for a long time, and now he's getting out of his comfort zone, and I'm excited. I think it's a good step in the right direction, and I love to see that that he's actually getting the traction that he deserves. So I guarantee you, and I'm not just saying this because he's on the stream today, or he may still be here. I don't know. He might have had to peace out. But I would say this, whether he was on the stream or not, and you guys know this, I've said this before, but he is one of the nicest guys in the audio community, in the audio industry that I know. He's just he's a 𝗧𝗵𝗲. What you see is what you get. And I love that about him. So, but hope you all are doing great around here. Kudos. Well, thank you so much, Meeps Music. That is amazing that you took the time to do that. I honestly had forgot that you'd said anything about donating in any way, shape, or form. So, that's a great answer there too. That's a great quote. I've heard that. A lot of people have said that one. Well, hey, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I think AI will help overcome blockages. Great. That's a great way to look at it. I forgot to show up here. Sorry, I was working on a crazy section for church rehearsal tonight. We had one of those last week, brother. I totally understand. We had a medley that I didn't even think was ever going to work. It was like 5 songs crammed together, and somehow we pulled it off. And I think we might have it recorded. I'm going to have to figure that out if we do, because you guys have got to hear it. It's amazing. 𝗬𝗏, she's asking, what is DistroKid? So DistroKid is like an online aggregator that helps to push your music. Once you upload it into their system, it pushes it out to all kinds of different, like Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Deezer, you name it. It puts it out there like overnight a lot of times. So you want to check them out. By the way, if you use my link, you'll get 7% off your sign up. So your first year will actually come in, instead of it being like $20, $21, it'll come in around $18 or $19. You'll actually save a little bit of money off the top. Warren, by the way, if you are still in the chat, man, we need to get up together soon. I do have some business to discuss with you. So, we had talked about it a long time back, but it's actually starting to take root now. And I wanted to strike the iron while it's hot while you're here. And, I think it'd be cool to have you in the VIP members area as well too. Maybe for like just a VIP only live stream or a Q&A. Skynet is imminent. How are you in your waves love-hate relationship? Yeah, we're not on good terms right now at all. I've said it once, and I should have stuck with that a long time ago, but I'm done with them. Focusrite 2x2. Warren is the man. Let's put that up on the screen. What other ways would you get your music heard? You need to send people somewhere to listen to it. Facebook is a great way to get your music out there. And then also obviously using, email, telling your friends. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways that you can do that. DistroKid actually has a great way of allowing you to share your music in a lot of different fun and exciting ways too. That kind of, if you're not very tech savvy, will help you to get it out there easier. So that's another great option there. He's got his Spidey senses are tingling. Hey, Mark, no problem, man. You can promote 𝗬𝗏 all you want, brother. He's a good soul. I love him to death. In fact, I need to get him back on. We had a great chat the last time he was on here for an interview, and he's just a great guy. He really is. Him and his wife both. And their dog and cat. What's your opinion on 𝗵𝗲 DSP? Starting to love it. Honestly, they make a lot of great quality products. In fact, Warren here just covered a lot of their stuff on his channel. So yeah, I'm a fan. Okay, here's another one. Can an artist create songs using BandLab alone and still be successful? I make tracks with BandLab, but haven't recorded vocals yet and worry that the quality won't be good enough. I'll outsource, mix, and master. Yes, absolutely. Zard Williams, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you saying that. Don't limit yourself just by the DAW that you're using. It's literally just a tool anyway. Whether you're using Pro Tools or Studio One or, Reactor or whatever it might be, it's at the end of the day, it's just a tool. So don't limit yourself by that. You're only limited by your creativity and your ability to put that creativity into action. So if you can find you, if BandLab works for you and you can work quickly and get your ideas out and flesh them out quickly, you know, go for it. That's all the more reason to use it, especially if it's free. So, if I'm skipping over questions, I apologize. We're about ready to run out of time, and I want to make sure that we do one more thing before we leave. So if I use DistroKid to release an album or an EP, does that automatically make it copywritten, or is this a separate process? No, that automatically copyrights it. Now, if you want to maintain the copyright, even if you don't use DistroKid anymore, you have to pay like a $20 fee per song, but it's like nominal compared to what you can actually do. So, okay, so I think I've got to all of the questions that were here in the chat, or at least the biggest portion of them. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to sign off today because I do have to be, actually, we're going to service tonight. We're having a youth revival, which is super cool. Okay, so I've got a couple more questions coming in. Okay, so Gordon 1960, make sure that you check out my website. Go to homestudiosimplified.com. My entire Cakewalk course right now is $5 minimum, or pay what you want. So if you want to be generous and give a little bit more, that's an option. But you can get my entire Cakewalk course for $5. Okay, I'm only going to run that. I said I was only going to run it till the end of April, but now I guess too many people are like, keep doing this. So we're going to run it till the end of May, and then it's going to go back up to $67. So get your hands on it now. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we've got all the questions answered, and greatly appreciate everybody that showed up today. One more thing that we've got to do before we leave, and those of you who are around for very long, you know what time it is. It's time to spin the wheel of awesomeness. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We spin the wheel, and that's what the deal. That one didn't really stick, but I'm going to go with it. Here we go. Let's spin it. Yeah. All right, so 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗛𝗦𝗦 was feeling his wild oats today. Little known fact. All right, so Robert, do we have an additional 3 minutes to run a quick giveaway? If not, we can do it another stream. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that would actually require me to be a little bit more involved. I'd have to get in the weeds here for a minute, and I don't think I'm prepared to do that because I'm actually trying to end this. But yeah, hey, Produce Like a Pro, what is up, man? So we've just spun the wheel of awesomeness. If you've just hopped back on here, Warren, actually, I didn't know if you were still in here or not, but I would love to have you back on the channel in the VIP members area as sort of a private VIP stream for a Q&A. And I have some good news to talk about you with. I'd just like to catch up again. It's been a while since we've talked, so I'd like to do that. But yeah, so we've spun the wheel of awesomeness, and we're getting ready to end the stream today. And the little known fact today is, it's not little known to some of you who have hung around the channel for very long, but I'm super excited about this. So I was actually just recently awarded the honor of actually doing, becoming the program director for a drug and alcohol rehabilitation program at our local assembly. And I'm super excited. I've chosen the name Freedom Alliance. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be helping individuals who are battling addiction, whether that's drug addiction, alcohol addiction, even if it's like depression or something like that. I want this to be an all-inclusive thing that I'm going to actually help people to try to help people, at least, which that's my thing. I'm going to try to help them to get over that hump and let them know, like, there is more to life than, you know, drugs and alcohol, and that they can change. And, you know, I was addicted for over 8 years to drugs and alcohol, and it would have ruined my life if God had not completely changed my life. And so now I get the chance to actually help other people to recover, and I'm super pumped about it. I'm super excited. Actually, I want to show you guys real quickly. if you don't mind, because I'm excited about this too. This is sort of the flyer that I'll be handing out. So this is the logo I came up with for Freedom Alliance. It basically stands for, you know, someone who is bound by addictions. I feel like that they're not free. The Freedom Alliance is that I'm going to ally with these people, myself, other members of the church, and obviously God. We're going to all ally together. We're going to bind together and make sure that we get them help, and not just like, hey, here's a 10-step program, but we're actually going to have like continuing care, make sure that we're following up with them and letting them know, you know, what it takes to actually get off of drugs and stay off of drugs. And so that's why the streams have actually been moved to Tuesdays after this week, because every Thursday evening at 5, I'm going to be doing that and helping people within our community. So that's a little known fact that I'm super excited about, and I would appreciate everyone's prayers. Please help me pray, because I really do want to see people changed. I want to see people helped. So thank you all so much for showing up to the stream today. And Warren, that was a great treat for you to pop in here, man. I really appreciate that. You've always been so supportive. I love you for that. Well, thank you so much, Meeps. Some of you may not know about it anyway, but I'm just super excited about it. So we will have DJs actually wanting to do a giveaway. Let's do that inside the Discord, so that we can actually take full advantage of that. So if you have not signed up to Discord yet, hop on over to the Discord server and sign up there. There is a link, which I'm going to try to get to, and I guarantee you that DJ is going to hop on it. He's going to be on it before I ever get to it. It's a race to the finish line right now to see who can get this first. And I guarantee you, he's too quick. Oh, it's taking Discord forever to open up here. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I might actually beat him for once. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Yes, I finally beat him. Okay, so if you're wanting to hop on the Discord server, this is the link to hop on. It's totally free. Hop on there and we will do a giveaway on the Discord server. So you've already posted. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Great job. I should have known better. I can't get one up on this guy. He's phenomenal. So thank you guys so much for showing up today. I love each and every one of you. God bless. We will definitely talk later. And I know for a fact I'll see you next week, because we do a live stream around here every single week. So if you have not jumped on one of those live streams, do so. There's many live streams just like this. I do live mixing sessions. Sometimes we cover a plugin live. And I'll also bring on some really awesome people from the audio industry on here from time to time. So anywho, well, thank you so much, Produce Like a Pro. I greatly appreciate that. All right. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and sign off. My wife's kind of giving me the side glance. We've got something, I guess we're going to eat a little something before we go to church. So, but yeah, I really do love you guys. Thank you all so much for hopping on, and stay safe out there. And of course, as always, you know, continue to be nice to one another, because that's what we're supposed to do. All right. See you guys. Today's video is sponsored in part by the Promix Academy. The Promix Academy offers affordable courses from mentors, world-class engineers, Grammy winners, and multi-platinum selling producers. And with the resources available on the Promix Academy, you can learn how to create radio-ready mixes from the comfort of your own home studio. Most of the courses also offer multi-tracks that you can then add to your portfolio and begin to build out your business. Follow the link in the description of this video to head on over to the Promix Academy today and start learning the skills that are needed to take your hobby or your business to the next level.